90 minutes to the hour of 7 o'clock in Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. On Sunday, the 11th of September, Trinidad and Tobago crowned a brand new Miss Universe. And this morning, we have the beautiful, brilliant, and talented Tajani Remy in studio with us to share her experience, vision, and journey to Miss Universe 2022 in Costa Rica. Now, good morning and welcome to the show. It's wonderful and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, we had the chance to speak off air, of course, and you were speaking about, associating your name with this title. Yeah. And how does that feel to you right now?
It feels great because it's now another opportunity to be an ambassador, and having represented Trinidad and Tobago through sport and, of course, through another beauty pageant, it is very, very surreal to be afforded another opportunity to do the same.
Yeah.
And I call it the pleasure and pressure of wearing the crown. Mm-hmm. And there is a responsibility, I feel, and a realness to it that after 5 years, Trinidad and Tobago again gets to represent their country on the international Miss Universe stage.
Agreed. It's definitely a responsibility. I would love, hopefully, as the conversation continues, we could get into the responsibility of representing Trinidad and Tobago, because it's so much more than just being, of course, gracious and elegant and intelligent. Mm-hmm. It's a massive role that you have undertaken. You mentioned sport, though. So can you share with us a bit of your passion?
Sure. So in addition to representing Trinidad and Tobago for around 5 years as a national volleyball athlete, I would have been able to also feel very passionate about connecting with people, and so I credit my community with being the site where I was able to hone all of my connections and my agitation for social injustice. And so I would have dedicated my life to becoming a social change agent, is what we call it. And so as a social worker working in Children's Authority, I really do have a passion for working with children, and it is no surprise to me that when I'm afforded another opportunity to represent and I can champion a social cause, it being children with disabilities, I'm hoping that that passion for bridging those gaps of those social experiences that children with disabilities face are going to be alleviated or helped just based on the platform and what the platform provides.
Oh, definitely. And that, again, is one of the responsibilities. They speak about the crown being so beautiful, but it can be heavy. And speaking about the fact that, working with children with disabilities, and just being at the Children's Authority, one can only imagine how challenging it can be sometimes to manage that, because of course we can see from the beauty that you radiate and your aura that you also empathize, yes, with children. So what is that like for you, and how do you feel now that you are Miss Universe Trinidad and Tobago? You did mention, of course, that there will be a way to marry the two. So how would you do that moving forward?
Yes, it's interesting being a professional, because we are within the gamut of the organization and our expectations, and as my role in the Child Justice Unit, so my population is youth and children youth in conflict with the law, rather, and it is a liberating experience being able to champion and pioneer your own recognition of what do you think, or what you think you can partner with organizations and groups and families and children who can really benefit from the light that this platform provides. I've been afforded the opportunity to raise funds, or can be afforded the opportunity to raise funds, to broker resources, and so with that opportunity now provides a level of fulfillment that you don't always get in organizations, and so there is a need now to really harness and see how best we can exploit all the opportunities that this opportunity can provide.
Definitely. We can already see into the future and the joy and also the assistance that this is going to bring, and of course foster a new generation, which is so important, because a lot of times people don't tie in a pageant with certain things, such as, of course, the upliftment of children, for want of a better example, of course, as we sit here this morning. So let's talk about you being Miss Trinidad and Tobago Universe. What are some of the goals that you have as you stand today in this role with this crown?
So I was on an interview yesterday with Tobago Updates, and the hosts were congratulating me on my all-roundedness with being able to be in sports and theatre and community engagement. And I said to them, but this is what we represent. This is who we are as a people. Trinbagonians are multi-talented. We are persons who have been able to morph different cultures and ethnicities into one culture, one identity. And so if I'm representing Trinidad and Tobago, I'm hoping to use all my skills and all my talents to ensure that the world and the universe recognizes the value that we can provide. And I think we are a country that is best suited to represent women and causes throughout the world.
We really are. You know, they say Trinidad and Tobago has the most beautiful women and, of course, the most all-rounded women as well. Now, you mentioned sport. What sport, or what sports, rather, should I say, do you play?
Well, my main sport is volleyball, but I have played basketball in university, and I swim and dabble in all those other physical activities, and that's also going to be a part of my journey. Shredding some extra pounds is one that I'm looking forward to, but all-rounded health and wellness is something that we advocate for, and being a beauty ambassador, it's very important to recognize that the makeup and the accessories is just that, the accessorizing of what is internal. And so if persons are looking in and recognizing that the celebration is more than just this, I'm hoping that they see that it's also self-work.
Oh, yes.
That it requires a commitment to prioritizing our mental health. And this ideal that we strive to is one that is often, when married with our human condition, comes short of expectations. And so that progression and that continual interest in becoming the best version of yourself is what this beauty ambassadorship is really about.
And it's so important, and definitely a conversation that we need to continue to have, as you just mentioned. So let's now talk about this ambassadorship, representing Trinidad and Tobago, representing beauty, and so much more. What would you say so far on this journey has been one of your challenges to the crown?
Yeah, so, well, it's difficult often having all these all-rounded skills and titles that I hold outside of the Miss Universe Trinidad and Tobago, of course, platform, and making balance with my commitment as a daughter of my mother, who would have just come out of surgery and has a 3 to 6 month recovery trajectory, being, of course, a member of the Children's Authority and working in the Child Justice Unit. That is a very demanding expectation from our workers, and all the other responsibilities of being a human being and living and keeping up with your social life and your mental health. And so striking a balance is one that I am continually in pursuit of, and ensuring that I draw on all my resources that will help me find that equilibrium.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, all right, where does the rest come in? Because rest is so important as well.
Yes.
So do you get the time?
I try to. I promise you, I try to. But it's very important, and I'm grateful for my team. The Crowns and Sashes organization is one who really acts as a family. And so even my manager yesterday, she said, we're going to put in some mental health days for you. And I said, yes, let's do that. So encouraging and fostering an environment where rest can happen is something that my organization provides. And of course, I also am actively pursuing. So yes.
That's beautiful to hear. So let's go to Costa Rica 2023. You are going to be representing us. You are going to take home the crown. We are manifesting it.
Yes, we're receiving it.
Yes, wonderful. What is one of your, I don't want to use the word fear, but what would you say is one of the biggest issues that looms ahead for you as you go forward to represent us in Costa Rica?
Well, it was rumored that it was going to be in Costa Rica, but we are actually going to New Orleans. I know.
Cool.
It's so exciting. I spent maybe about 40 minutes just catching a lot of persuasion, just sharing my excitement about this space, because it's so similar to our own culture in terms of its folk heritage, in terms of its food. It's known for its music, and I think I know a place who is quite familiar and quite similar in that regard. So it's exciting. I also play the alto sax, and so jazz and street music is something that I am looking forward to, and hopefully if we have enough room, I'll be able to carry my sax and do some playing on my own. So it's an exciting time, but I know that it's in January and it's still around the winter season. So I know that as a Caribbean woman, as a Caribbean girl, we are going to have to adjust to that climate. But that really is my only, I would say, limitation in going there. But other than that, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to share the stage with women across the world representing their own countries and causes. And so just being in that environment, I know it's going to be such a transformational period.
It really is. So upon winning Miss Universe, what would be one of your first calls to action?
Definitely to speak to those in positions of power, which is everyone, is all of us, to recognize that we have privilege in whatever regard that we stand in, as mothers, as neighbors, as persons in policy making positions, and to know that to take account, first of all, of what are the things that we are contributing to that continue to provide disparity among those who are othered, and to ensure that we play an active role in ensuring that we do the alternative, that we make better. So for children with disability, that just may mean providing enough room for them to grow and have access to inclusive playgrounds and affordable healthcare and inclusive education. And that, I think, when we all play our individual parts in this collective action, we can truly make a difference in all spaces and adjust and make an impact and a dent on social issues.
Definitely. Now, tell us something. You just mentioned something so key, all-inclusive playgrounds, and of course going to childhood now with you. Was this always something that you wanted to become? Did you always want to become Miss Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, I found myself often in positions where I had to represent others. And in that recognition that my line is aligning with, I had to realize that there's a responsibility now that I had to whet my skills to ensure that when I do get in a position where persons are expecting me to speak on their behalf, that I'm I'm in a position where I'm knowledgeable of what is going on. And so as a Masters of Social Work student, it's very important for me to continue building and growing that knowledge base. And of course, growing on the skills and being intimately involved with communities. And so representing Trinidad and Tobago is another opportunity to be in touch with my community, in touch with my culture, which is vast and varying. So I would say that because I found myself in positions as that, I need to ensure that I'm always well equipped, and I'm hoping that I'm well on my way.
You are definitely well on your way and well equipped. All the best for Miss Universe Trinidad and Tobago. Looking forward to seeing you gracing that stage, and looking forward to seeing you continue to work with our communities and fostering a new generation filled with love and optimism, which you definitely radiated this morning in studio. Trinidad and Tobago. There's a lot more coming up, talking about the Calypso tent in Tobago and more. Stay tuned. This is the Now Morning Show.